Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to the very first episode of my YouTube channel. In this channel, I will be covering all sorts of new media horror, including genres such as Unfiction, ARGs or ARGs, traditional horror narratives as well, and maybe some lighthearted content to palate cleanse from time to time. To those who are watching this now, I thank you for joining me on my YouTube journey, and I hope my videos entertain your desire for creepy, spooky, and obscure content. Without wasting more of your time with introductions, I welcome you to Mortisium. The topic we will be covering today is a new Unfiction series here on YouTube by the name of MIDWEST Angelica. This series began on January 21st of 2022, and I have to say this series really reminds me of the quality world building of other projects such as Gemini Home Entertainment and the Backrooms by Kane Pixels. Links to those channels will be in the description. They are highly recommended, and I may cover them in the future as well. When it comes to MIDWEST Angelica, the visuals are stunning and impressive, and the writing and voice acting are top-notch so far. But let's dig into this channel so I can properly show you the magic of this series, starting with the first video.
In the year 1999, a corpse descends from the cosmos, right into your backyard. The ultimate in science fiction, an alien thriller, a threat unlike any other. This is the MIDWEST Angelica. Critics are calling it a one-of-a-kind, a sublime experience into the realm of the unknown, a twister of biblical proportions. Don't hesitate. This is your chance. Call within the next 15 minutes to receive a free poster, along with your copy of MIDWEST Angelica. Only $16.99 plus shipping and handling. Call now.
As we can see, the first video on the channel is titled Call Now, and seems to be an advertisement for a sci-fi alien thriller with the same title as the channel. In this movie, we would be treated to a one-of-a-kind, sublime experience into the realm of the unknown, with apparently a corpse falling from the cosmos and an intriguing mention of a twister of biblical proportions, and a strange tentacle-like appendage rising up from the ground. Keep these references in mind for later. At the end of the video, we are shown a phone number to purchase the movie, as well as get a free poster if we call in the next 15 minutes. I tried calling this number, and unfortunately, I couldn't get through to anywhere to buy this movie. Which makes sense, since if we go to the description of the video, which reads MIDWEST Angelica 000, The tape was discovered at the Oklahoma Cherokee site. It is believed that the footage, which depicts an advertisement on KMTV Channel 3, was recorded sometime between October 31st of 1991 and January 1st of 1992. The product depicted in the advertisement, a film titled MIDWEST Angelica, has yet to be recovered. So, considering this advertisement is at least 30 years old, I think I missed my window of opportunity. Not to mention, it seems it hasn't been recovered, so I guess it's considered lost media in this universe. So there's not much to be gleaned from this short video, other than setting up the narrative in an interesting way. We seem to have an alien corpse falling from the sky, and if we take a look at the last few frames on the video, we can see an emergency broadcast for a tornado warning. Perhaps this twister of biblical proportions? Regardless, let's press on to the next video to see if we can gain more information. The next video is quite a bit longer at 8 minutes and 22 seconds, but let's dive right in.
Around April of this year, we picked up an anomalous biosignature around Jupiter's orbit. We thought it was some sort of instrumentation issue, but we wanted to take a look, just to make sure. Thanks to the tenacity of our team, we were able to get a good look at it within a month. What we found was, frankly, astonishing. Truly unexplainable. The object, which we've codenamed AZ-001, appears to be 66.3 kilometers in diameter. We still need more data to prove if life is indeed thriving on this object. We've determined that AZ-001 is in fact harboring life. This discovery could change the foundation of science as we know it. Well, harboring might not be the correct word to use here, no. We believe AZ-001 itself is alive. Or at least was alive. We have reasons to believe that the entity, AZ-001, might be a corpse drifting in space. AZ-001's trajectory has been calculated. Based on our calculations, we believe that it will reach the vicinity of Earth's orbit by the year 1999. Due to the implications of AZ-001's existence, NASA has made the decision to form a group, known as the Division of Heavenly Operation and Material Examination, or simply known as HOME. This group will study AZ-001's composition, trajectory, and will hopefully make contact with the object in 1999. It's also designated to hide the existence of AZ-001 from the public. I have been chosen as one of the lead positions in HOME.
My name is Dr. Ray O'Connor, and I am head of psychological contamination research here at HOME. In the past few years, we have made incredible discoveries regarding AZ-001. It's almost strange to say this, but the object seems to be emanating massive, detectable brainwaves. We have detected the presence of delta waves here at HOME, HQ, which are the same sort of waves generated during deep sleep in humans. We are currently in the process of attempting to decode these waves to gather more information regarding AZ-001 and its potential effects.
Well then, seems we have quite a bit to unpack here, from secret governmental organizations all the way to alien infections. So let's start with the first noteworthy event. According to the narration from, I believe, a NASA scientist by the name of Dr. Lucas Michaels from the Glenn Research Center, our celestial entity dubbed AZ-001 was first discovered around April 1985, around the orbit of Jupiter at a size of 66.3 kilometers in diameter, or a little over 41 miles for us Americans. In context, this thing is the size of the state of Rhode Island, and by November of 1985, they found it to be alive, or was alive, as they say they believe it to be a corpse. Fast forward to March of 1987, and a new governmental organization by the name of HOME, or the Division of Heavenly Operation and Material Examination, is created in Nebraska to study this object and keep information of the object hidden from the public. Over the past 2 years of study, HOME has determined the object to be heading towards Earth. And our narrator so far, Dr. Michaels, will apparently be one of the heads of this project to monitor the incoming entity. A few moments later, we learn that Dr. Michaels went missing only 2 years later in 1989. Makes you wonder what he learned that led to this event. Anyway, we then pick up our narration in August of 1995 with a new speaker, an older gentleman by the name of Dr. Ray O'Connor, head of the Psychological Contamination Research Lab at HOME. Here is where we learn that this corpse this organization has been following may not be a corpse after all, considering it happens to be putting off brainwaves that seemingly mimic the brainwaves we emit when we sleep. So our entity isn't dead, it just hasn't woken up yet. Then, on the dawn of the new year, January 1st, 1999, the entity finally reaches Earth and enters high Earth orbit at 9:32 p.m. Then, about 2 weeks later, on the morning of January 13th, it enters low Earth orbit, where we finally get good images of this entity, showing long appendages that branch off from the main body. Then 3 days later, on January 16th, we learn that a large chunk of the entity labeled AZ001 Alpha separates from the main body, and 2 hours later it begins emitting strange radio waves as it begins to enter the atmosphere. Home determines that this is unlikely to be sporadic E, which is a form of radio propagation in the Earth's ionosphere formed by clouds of ionized metallic meteor dust. This seems to be a fancy way of saying it isn't just radio interference. This piece that separated from the main entity is giving off radio waves for some reason. And then, after seeing the object burning through the atmosphere, we are treated to a map of the United States, as we see the object is going to be touching down somewhere in rural northeastern Nebraska. And finally, on the morning of January 16th, just 2 hours after the chunk separated from the main body, the chunk crashes into the Earth at the coordinates shown. We then move on to classified footage recorded at 5:25 a.m., about an hour and a half after the object landed. Here we see what looks to be a containment team tasked with investigating the object. Since it's hard to hear what the team is saying, I tried to add captions to the video when possible. Following the team, we see they are pretty apprehensive to approach the object, stating that they think that it's alive. We then see the person filming reach out and touch what appears to be a small piece of the entity that is stuck to a rock, getting some of the unknown material on his glove. After this, it seems they determine this object needs to be eradicated and decide to burn it all down. A fitting response, I say. Unfortunately, this seems to backfire, as all this does is wake and enrage the creature as it screeches and roars in the flames. We then see one of our team members become infected, perhaps from touching the piece of the creature earlier, and within seconds gets fully taken over as we see something then crawl out from the helmet he once wore. And with that ends the second video on the channel, and presumably the lives of the entire containment team.
Attention! If you or loved one are living in any of the counties shown on your screen, you are encouraged to consult your doctor or call the toll-free number below for a free evaluation today. Tests of an experimental pesticide containing ingredients linked to insomnia, somnambulism, strange or uncomfortable dreams, and general sleep problems have previously occurred in these areas, and your input is critical in evaluating the product's safety for consumer use. Again, if you or loved one are living in any of the counties shown on your screen, you are encouraged to consult your doctor or call 1-800-555-4663 for a free evaluation today. That's 1-800-555-4663. 1-800-555-4663.
I hope you enjoyed that minor commercial break featuring a quick advertisement for Papa Rico's Pizza, where we will also happen to find an address in Red Oak, Iowa. Surprisingly, when looking this up on Google Maps, there is a pizza place nearby. Not relevant, but funny to note. We then see a large list of counties also in Iowa that seem to be having issues with pesticide consumption being linked to a few sleep-related issues such as insomnia, somnambulism, or sleepwalking, strange and disturbing dreams, and other sleep problems. But if we look to the description, which reads, "The footage is believed to have been recorded sometime in 1995. No known records of any pesticide tests were found to have taken place in the areas shown that year." This would place the date of this video a few years before the landing of AZ-001 Alpha. This would imply that AZ-001 itself may be having some level of cognitohazardous behavior, and Home seems to be trying to cover it up. Well, not much else to be gleaned from this, so let's continue to the next video. At the start of the video, we are treated to a date that places this video on the same day of AZ-001 Alpha's landing, and we are also shown a set of coordinates that places our unfortunate protagonist very close to the area of the landing as well. We then learn the name of a rancher and his son, who we will be following for the rest of this video. After his father is awoken to the sounds of his dogs barking, his son follows shortly after with camera in tow. The following is the video of the events that befell him and his father.
Colin, get down here.
Grab Max. I'm going to get the rifle.
What happened to Rocky?
I don't know.
What happened to...
Let's pause real quick to analyze. So, Colin is called outside by his father. After meeting up with his father, we hear the dogs presumably get assimilated as they cry out. Then, something rushes towards the camera, and we also get a few frames of this mass that appears to be assimilating a deer, and then what looks to be the reanimated deer rushing towards the father and son. Perhaps one of the dogs that were assimilated? Gunshots? And then we see Colin's father being assimilated. Let's continue and see what will become of Colin.
Mom? Mom?
Well, as we can see, Colin's mother, his father, the livestock, the land, and soon Colin himself has all been assimilated. It seems this infection is spreading very rapidly. And so, we arrive to our last video, and unfortunately it is a short one. Let's take a look and see what we can learn from our friends at home. So it seems Home has been doing tests on Otocoileus virginianus and Canis latrans, or the common white-tailed deer and coyote respectively, injecting them with specimens from AZ001 alpha, which seems to be leading to minimal mutations. Yet strangely, when introduced to Allium cepa, which is the breed of onion known as shallots, it seems to grow out of control within a few hundred milliseconds. And after this, we learn that the contagion has some level of intelligence, meaning not only is it extremely infectious, it knows how to spread. And as we see in the next slide, this can get out of hand very quickly and spread throughout the entire United States, considering we've seen how quickly it can infect a person. So, it seems that Home plans on eradicating this threat before it gets out of control using Operation Starkill. But considering this is only a chunk of AZ001 that is quickly becoming an existential threat to all of humanity, I can only imagine what would happen if the entirety of AZ-001, an entity the size of Rhode Island, were to make a landing. Something tells me humanity won't stand a chance. And that is the end of the series so far, but I certainly expect to see the narrative grow. And Alex Kister of the Mandela Catalog has already given it praise, so I hope this series gets a lot more attention. As you have seen, the visuals are great quality, the voice acting is 100% believable, and the narrative is compelling. If you haven't already, I urge you to head over to the Midwest Angelica channel and go watch the series in full to give it the attention it deserves and get the full experience without my voice interrupting. Go give them a like and a subscription, and even check out the Midwest Angelica original soundtrack if any of the music featured in those videos interest you. That way we can keep this series alive. And with that, I would also appreciate anyone watching to like and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed the video. It is my first YouTube video, so I hope it wasn't too bad, and I hope to see you again soon. And with that, thank you all for watching.